everyone. We are out in our 1972 Monte Carlo. We're going to just hop on the highway here, show you what this baby's made of. Quick 75-mile-an-hour run. Put the brakes on, straight as an arrow. This car's got a great story. It's a 1972 Chevy Monte Carlo that was sold new in Seattle, Washington at Fiedler Chevrolet. 25,274 actual miles on the odometer right now. This car has every single piece of documentation that you can think of. Has the original build sticker that I think was affixed to the back of the seat, or tank sticker if it was a Corvette, but the build sheet. Has the original bill of sale, the original shipping documents, all the original manuals, the original Protecto plate, all the options that are on the build sheet are still on the vehicle now. Rally Sport wheels from the factory, white wall tires from the factory, and it's just a super clean car. Completely original interior. The only thing that has ever been done to the car was painted 18 years ago, and the paint just shines like no tomorrow. It's just a stunning example. Like, there's nothing that we see in the interior that detracts from the condition, the carpet condition, the dash, the steering wheel. There's no cracks, although fake wood is still looking very clean. Everything seems to work. All the heating system, radio, all the lights, turn signals, transmission shifts great. We're on the highway now doing 55 miles an hour, and it's smooth as can be. The exhaust system sounds a little hopped up. Kicks down great. So you're supposed to slow down here, not speed up. But brakes are great. Drives incredibly well. Obviously, this isn't one of Chevrolet's most expensive models, but if you want a vintage car that you can throw a few kids in, like I would, or some family members or friends, you got a big trunk, you can throw some golf clubs in the back. It's it's a nice big cruiser, pillarless coupe. You can put the windows down, get some wind inside the car because there's no air conditioning, but everything's still in great shape. Look at up here. This is the original seatbelt tag that shows you how to use the seatbelts. All the original transmission tag and engine starting procedures are still affixed up there. In the trunk lid, it still has the jack instructions on the inside of the trunk lid. But it's just a good, old, honest car. The exterior color is original to the car. It's called Mojave Gold. And the interior jewel is called
Saddle Brown
Vinyl. So it's still in its original colors. There's not a lot of stuff that I know about it other than it's a 350 with an automatic transmission. I think they call that hydromatic, did they not?
Sure is. Turbo hydromatic, I believe is what they call it. It's probably a turbo 350. And it's 175 horsepower. Nice. Chevy 350 V8. Definitely feels like it's got more gusto than it would factory. It doesn't say so in the documentation, but I would surely bet that it's been rebuilt.
And the ownership history of this car, up until the past owner had it, that bought it with 23,000 miles, was from the original family that bought it new, and then they've had it, what we believe is since about 2014. So it's had good ownership history. Obviously, no accidents or anything that we see signs of, because everything is still in great shape. All the fender bolts and everything are still where they would have been from the factory. Doesn't look like they've ever been turned. All the glass is in good shape. Headliner's in good shape. It has the shoulder belts there that are still up on
probably worth mentioning that I drove this the other day as well. Things on old American cars, and for that matter, old European too. Things like the signal, the turn signal indicator stock. Usually those get super wiggly and worn out. That thing is super firm. All the light switches, or the light switches and the radio switches, the radio works and sounds fine. It's AM, so you get a lot of talk radio. Lighter works, heat works. We had it out early in the morning for our photo shoot. Those bent switches on the floor by Tim's left foot in the kick panel, those work and operate as exactly the way they should. The windows roll up exactly the way they should. They're not janky.
All the rubber seals and felts inside the windows are all in good shape. They're not weathered.
Yeah, I think it's probably just important to say it's not a Chevelle. It's a Monte Carlo, but it's in very good condition. I would say if this was a nice Chevelle Malibu, it's probably worth 40-50 grand. So everything in the back, we'll show you this in the walk around, but the vinyl seats, the seat belts, the recoil on the lap belts in the front is really strong. That's another thing, as we all know, the recoil ends up dying, probably the springs inside, then you get floppy belts. Tension on the accelerator, great. Lots of the brake pedal super firm.
The brakes don't dive in any direction. Like,
yeah,
you hit the brakes, it stops straight.
Yep.
No, it's a good driving car. I've driven lots and lots of American cars, as I'm sure a lot of you have, that, you know, they have weird character quirks. I haven't found any yet. They drive straight, track straight, stops well, transmission shifts how it should, downshifts properly. I wouldn't hesitate to get in this car and go on a road trip, just based on the driving we've done of it now. And you know, our driver that picked it up before bringing it to our shop said the same thing, is, wow, that's one of the best driving vintage cars I've driven in a long time. And I think we both attest to the same assessment. It's a very nice driving car. So we'll do a walk around video and just show you all the good. If there's any bad, we'd like to point it out, so make sure you watch through the whole video so that we can show you any tiny deficiencies. We don't want any surprises when a car arrives. We're going to send this to our warehouse in Blaine, Washington. It'll be titled in Ohio, so you will get a U.S. title. It was last registered in Washington State in past ownership, so easy for us to get you a title. Shipping will be from Blaine, Washington, so if you want to arrange any shipping on your own, the zip code there is 98230. If you'd like us to arrange it, we're happy to do so. We use reliable carriers. We can get you a quote. They're definitely not the cheapest, but we believe they are one of the best, so that's who we use. Reach out if you have any questions that we can answer on the contact seller button, but we'll go through all the documentation, make sure it's uploaded so you have a good idea of what you're getting. But no bad stories to tell here. It's a great car.
Selling no reserve.